What's up, everyone, and welcome back to my first YouTube video in a super long time. We are playing a game of Red Green Law today. We're going to show you two games in this video that I had quite fun with. Now, neither of them are meta, and I'm not saying Red Green Law is a meta deck, but we're just out here having fun because that's what, in my opinion, it's all about. I say that, but then I play just disgusting meta decks at tournaments. But we're here, we're playing some fun games today. Now, what is different about this Red Green Law deck? Why am I bringing Red Green Law back? Honestly, there's some cool new pieces. As you can see in our hand, we have a couple of them. We are playing Red Green Law with the Punk Hazard package from OP10. So the sim has been updated. We can play OP10 cards now in the Western lobby. That's lovely. But the sim has been updated. So what do these cards do? Well, start off with, we're going to talk about the Searcher, which is Virgo. Virgo, you can one cost Searcher top 5 for Punk Hazard. Now, what are the cards we are playing that are searchable? We're playing Monet. Monet is it's a fusion. You know, I play Dragon Ball Fusion. I'm funny. No laughing. Well, you know. What can I do about it? Monet is a fusion between Brook and Otama. So for 2, you play it, activate main, you can rest it, attach rested Don to one of your leaders or characters, as we're about to see here. So in this case, I'm attached to Zoro. And then we get to reduce one of our opponent's cards by 1k. So as I said, mix between Otama and Brook. Quite good card for Red Green Law. What else do we have? We have 3 cost Tashigi, which is a great card for green decks. It protects your cards. Every one of your green cards will be removed. You can rest Tashigi instead. Love Tashigi. What else does it give? Well, obviously brings us 5 cost Smoker, which is a 5 for 7, which is not pretty common in Red Green Law. Most of the cards we play in Red Green Law are 5 for 6s, such as Blocker Law, Cavendish, Restand Law, Luffy. They're all kind of 5 for 6s. What else does it bring? It brings 3 cost Sanji. On KO, draw 1, your turn, it gets +3, so it's a 3 for 6 on your turn. If your opponent swings into it, you draw. That sounds amazing for this deck. And yeah, the all Punk Hazard cards, and then we have a really good defensive event too, which is +3k and then -2k to something else, which I do quite like. So, you know, we get a bunch of different options. So, we're trying it out. We took out the Straw Hack. We took out the Darn. Took out a lot of, like, you know, well-known stuff. But we're just here having fun with it. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Anyway, let's start talking about the game. You've heard enough of me rambling. So, let's kind of get into it. So, we're playing against a Reiju. They have a pretty big board. So, my job is to try and reduce that pressure of that board. My Monet, it survived from last turn, so it's going to give some Don to some of our things. We're just going to start off by swinging 8 into this Ichiji. He lets it die. I'm super surprised he lets it die, by the way. Like, just rewatching this game, the fact that the Ichiji was allowed to die there, crazy. Maybe they didn't have 2k and didn't want to lose 3 cards in hand for it, which I guess is fair enough, because then I could start swinging 7s instead of 8s, but that's all good. We will swing now 7 into this Reiju because we just got to play a Blocker Law, bounce Monet, play a Monet back down. Like, the best part about Monet is because it's a Brook and Otama fusion, we don't actually need, like, it doesn't take up 2 spots to do the effect. It takes up 1 spot. It's in rest as well, which is like, early game is kind of bad, but late game when they swing into it, a lot of times I want to play something to start my turn, right? Like, I don't want to just attach all my dot, which is fine, but like a lot of times I want to play a Searcher, get another piece or something along those lines, like play a Bonnie, get a Blocker or something like that, which because Monet's in rest, they swing into it, which is great, and they'll normally swing their leader, which is 5k, which means I've essentially got a card in hand because I haven't had to combo out of an attack. So all in all, I really like Monet. See, like, the swinging 6 into Monet. Okay, I'm fine with that. 5 to lead, we just get to block this, and it's back to our turn. They didn't develop a board. It's kind of the thing with Reiju, is after a while, they can miss an Ichiji, and if they miss an Ichiji, their pressure's kind of over. And this is the other thing, like, this is my 10 Don turn, Damn, Red Green Law just has a disgusting board sometimes. It's what, 5, 7, 6, 6. Like, that's crazy. And I'm just going to put all my Don into attacking. Like, I don't really know. Like, they probably lose this turn or next turn in this board state, which is kind of crazy to think about. Like, that's... I miss playing Red Green Law. I miss it. It's such a fun deck. We are going to attack with our blockers. Probably a bit, silly and risky, but it's fine. Playing the Resend Law to Resend Zoro. Look, I probably scuffed this turn a little bit. I wanted my attacks to be even across the field, and maybe that's fine, because I do end up, like, every single one of my attacks is a 7, which is, like, besides this 5k swing from the leader, because I still need 2 Don to bounce something back. But all my swings ended up being 7, which is, like, besides the 5, which is nice. But I feel like maybe it's better to attach Don to, like, one of the laws, and because I've got 2 resend laws, I can swing 3 times with that, so it's like a 999. Maybe that's more worth it. The fact I have to pick up Zori is really scary, because they blocked, if this one doesn't go through, they have a 4-cost HG, they can, kind of kill me. I did have some counter in there, so it's fine. But yeah, that was game 1. I didn't get to talk too much about the game. It was a pretty quick one. Sometimes when you play on Sim, the games just go quick. I tried to get you guys this Blackbeard game. I was trying to pick which games I would show you, because I personally think that, Red Green Law definitely comes off really fun and really strong against some decks, and Blackbeard's one of them. I also really wanted to have the law, like, which law deck is better. I didn't. Out of these 3 decks that are currently there, I decided Buggy would be a fun one to play against, because I've got a couple of 3 and 4 costs, well, mainly 3 costs I want to attack with, which is Sanjin Zoro. So their 7 cost Buggy is really annoying. So we decided to go with it. Anyway, this is cool. I like this opening hand because I get to show off cards I didn't get to show off last game. First of all is Virgo, and Virgo kind of hits everything, right? It hits Tashigi if I want that for late game. It hits Chopper. Chopper's just another 2k. That's a target for Virgo, so that's why I run it. It's not anything special, but it also hit Monet, and it hit that event, which is what I was saying before. It's a plus 3k and minus 2, which is pretty strong for 2 Don. It's essentially Hell's Judgment, but slightly worse, but you don't have to Don minus for it, so I think it's pretty good in my books. My point of view of this matchup is I just want to do a bunch of small swings. I want to get cards out of their hand, because I have to discard for the lead effect. Is a bit weak. Small miss sequence, right? I shouldn't play the Bonnie just in case they can trigger and bot deck the Bonnie. The reason I swing with Zoro here is they're about to go to 5, and 5 is the Don for Buggy, right? And I was just like, this is gonna be a dead card in my hand. If I play it swing, they're probably gonna swing into it, so that kind of makes it like a 1k counter in my hand, per se. I don't know if that makes sense to you. It makes sense to me. But if this Buggy comes down, Zoro is now useless for the rest of the game. So yeah, we played it early. Now, this is the turn I probably do a little bit of sillies. Which is basically, I wanted to be able to play this Cavendish down, but I also want to be Shambles because I want to protect that Bonnie. Starting the turn with the Bonnie was probably the mistake, because now I have to play that Otama purely for the reason of, I guess, having the Otama, right? Like, just having another body on board, which isn't that ideal. Like, we don't want Otama on board that much. So a bit suboptimal, but it's kind of fine. Instead, what I could have done, because I had 6 Don and I just needed to get, two bodies out, because I already had 3. 6 Don. Like, I could have played Tashigi plus Otama. That still kind of seems meh. There wasn't really any perfect way to go about it, but just, I guess the idea was, look, if that Bonnie hits the blocker law, then I can pick up Virgo and pick up Bonnie and replay the Virgo down and get like the top 5 search, and then we're all happy. But hey, wasn't in the cards today. They're just playing more cards down, and they're going to start swinging. Now, the big thing about them swinging this turn is, they've already swung 5, which I counted out with, and then it's just a 7, and I don't really care about that 7k swing. They probably could have gone 7-7, which would have been a little bit more scary. I probably would have had to get rid of the beige, but end of the day, it doesn't make too much of a difference. And yeah, like, look, this turn, I just want to swing, right? Going into the Cavendish means I don't actually spend any Don, and my math is kind of nice. It's just 9-9 into this Daz Bones to try and clear it, because against Buggy, I don't want them to have a board, because if they have a board, it means they can stick a 10 cost, and that 10 cost is super scary. But luckily for me, they didn't have it. They definitely protect this Daz Bones, which made me think they had it. And then I'm like, oh, this is going to be tough. Like, if they had it, it would be super tough. But they just have Grav Blade, which is still sucky. Like, Grav Blade still sucks. I didn't want to see the Grav Blade. But in comparison to 10 cost Buggy, I think I take it. This turn, they have a 6 and then a 7 and a 7. Unfortunately, I don't have... Well, I do have a 2k, so I don't know why I just didn't give them to Shiggy. I guess my logic was, like, I've got this 8 cost kid. I kind of wanted to Shiggy to protect it in case they play Buggy. But then, because I did this, I go down to one, like, defensive piece in hand. Like, one card on board, and that, look. You know, which can pretend doesn't happen, but we get to show once again, how good of a card Monet is. And once again, this is another turn. I probably didn't do the best plays. I decided to go, as you can see, I did take a little bit thinking about it, right? Like, how much Don do I have? What can I do? We can play the Cavendish, which essentially only costs 3, and then we've got 2 Don left. So I'm like, 2 Don Monet, that sounds great. So that's what I do. However, I think Virgo just gives me 1 extra card in hand for the same effect, because I basically have to swing 2k above whatever power this Mr. 1 Daz Bones is. Right. So I kind of have to double Monet in this exact position. However, I'm a little bit smarter, I don't have to, and I can explain how. So instead of that Monet, I play the Virgo, which means currently I have 1 extra Don inactive. I use the Monet to give +2 to my leader, -1 to the Daz Bones. Daz Bones now 6, the leader 7. I attach that extra Don, it's now 8. And then instead of having to use this other Monet later, I can just... I mean, it's just a Virgo on board, right? Which seems perfectly fine. I don't have to overkill 9 into 6. Instead, it's just 8 into 6. And I have that 1 extra card in hand, because I would have picked up the Monet, right? I don't know if that makes sense. Makes sense to me. But yeah, so I'm going to have 1 extra card in hand for defense. But to be fair, that 1 extra card matters a lot, especially if it's 2k. And I'll explain why in a little bit. But let's just see what our opponents do first. Alright, so they come down with a 1-drop Search, the 6 cost Mihawk, which is the blocker. I didn't know what it did at the time, so, you know, had to hover over it. But the reason I'm scared is they theoretically have 3 attacks. They've got their leader, they got their Daz Bones, and they can also attack with Mr. 3. Now, I got super greedy this turn defensively. Let me pick up this mic so you can hear me at the same volume you were hearing before. I get super greedy this turn, and you'll see why in a little bit. They swing 7, and my dumb, smart, I don't know what you want to call it, decides to block and then give a 2k, because I'm like, this makes sense, right? Block 2k, I gotta keep my body. I'm not really in threat dying, and then I kind of counted their Don. I thought the best they can do was 7/7, in which case I can take 1, counter 1, or play Kid next turn, be in a super chill position, because I've got a blocker, I've got a Kid, we're all happy. But they actually had 8 Don left, which is 7 on lead, 7k leader, and then 8k with Mr. 3, which means I can't do that perfectly. But most people won't go all in with a 8k swing when I would have theoretically 6 cards in hand if I took the 7. So it's like, and because I like block with the law, they probably think I'm like chill in terms of counter, and this way they get to clear the Monet, and I think clearing the Monet is pretty valuable. Here, I just give up the Monet. I do kind of have to start playing a little bit smarter. Like, their board looks scary. My board also looks scary. Let's not forget that. My board is also a great board. But their board definitely looks scary. And once again, I have to clear 2 bodies off this board. Otherwise, Buggy comes down and kills me, which we do not want a Buggy to come down and just kind of like blow us up this turn. So we play the Kid because we need that defense. We pick up the Virgo to play the Smoker. And we've got a full green board. Sometimes you get a full green board. It is what it is. Seeing 6 into Daz Bones. We untap our 2. Unfortunately, they do just get to block it here with Mihawk, which was definitely a bit of a shame. I can definitely say that was a bit of a shame that they could do that. And now this is where like I kind of had to figure out what to do. So I obviously have to rest the kid. Right, I need to attach it on and rest the kid. That's unfortunately just what I have to do. And I kind of want that 5-cost Tadspot gone. I can swing 7 into it. I can swing 7 to Mihawk, but if both cards are dead, it's if one card is not dead, it's fine. This way, it forces them to have an out, and they don't have it because if they have the buggy in hand, the other card has to be a 2K, right? That was kind of my logic. I swing 7 into it. The main thing I'm scared of is buggy. If it lives, it lives. Kind of sucks. But if they have 10-cost buggy, I'm in a really bad spot. So let's make sure that they don't, like, they have to have 2K plus buggy, which is a pretty exact hand, which they don't have. They can't play buggy this turn because they can't. I mean, they theoretically could play buggy if they had another searcher. They can go 5-1 for the searcher and then play buggy. But that's a pretty specific hand. So we're just hoping they don't have buggy. And I also have Dashigi now. I guess that's the point. I have Dashigi now, so it's not too big of a deal. And now this is kind of where I get a little bit lucky with how the buggy player decides to attach their Don. They swing for a simple 8. They swing for 10, I have to block. And then they can swing for 10 again, and then my kid dies. I mean, I could give them every single bit of counter in my hand, which maybe is theoretically potentially worth it, but also probably not. So I honestly don't know why it's taking me this long to think about it. But yeah, we just give them the Virgo. I got 2 copies of it in my hand. It's kind of fine. They now swing 9 into it. I think I just got to give my Law. Like, I don't have the 2K. Giving Law, I don't really mind. They have 5 left, which is probably a lead effect. It's not. It's just playing another Daz Bones. And this is when I kind of have to be smart. And we've got a 9K swing, so we're just going to swing that straight into the Mihawk. And I definitely do a little bit of a silly on this turn. I do a big silly. First of all, why am I playing Bonnie? Like, that just didn't make sense. I should have played Virgo. I mean, it didn't. Virgo only has the chance to hit Smoker. Bonnie does have the chance to hit Law, which is definitely better, as well as Beige, which is like a blocker. But it's going to cost me a lot of Don. I guess I get a lot of my Don back from Cavendish. Maybe Bonnie was right. So what we're going to do, we're going to Shambles, and we're just not going to play anything. I was thinking about playing Virgo, and I was thinking about playing Zoro. Zoro is definitely wrong. Because Buggy's there. If not, you play Buggy and you don't really care about playing over Zoro. But I really want to play the Law this turn. So playing Virgo is potentially right because I do run a lot of 2Ks. I run 8 2Ks, which are Virgo searchable. And just upgrading Virgo to a 2K is probably the correct thing to do. But that's what it is at the end of it. We're going to swing 7. First of all, 7 Banish. Hope that's just Smoker having Banish is great. 7 with Cavendish. Tap 2, and this is kind of where I'm able to essentially just tell my opponent, show me, like, you're too low. I can swing another 7K into you and it's chill. Like, you're probably not countering out of it very easily. I went to go swing 5K and just ignore me. Totally forgot that buggy is a thing. We'll swing 6. It means we can only swing 6, which is kind of poopy. Swinging 7 would have been better. They take it either way, though, which is lucky for me. They go to 1. They have a thick hand because they triggered Sanji's Pilaf. But at this point, the game is more or less over. Like, I probably could have done a couple things. Off that Law, maybe I don't have to play Dashigi. Maybe I keep Dashigi in hand, play Virgo, so I have another card in hand, plus one of them's 2K. There's like a lot of small things with Red-Green Law that really impact whether you win or lose the game. Just like, I should have played a Virgo off of the Shambles purely to try to search for a 2K. Or if I miss the 2K, maybe I find the event, and the event's even better defense, and I can definitely leave 2 up. Like, I don't have to apply for that much pressure. Once again, they just swing 8. 8's not a number that I'm scared of. Like, that's just the main thing. 8's not a number I'm scared of. Like, even 9's a lot more annoying. And the fact I've got 8 cost kid down now, which is an 8K body, is just so much pressure. This is kind of just what happens sometimes. And honestly, Black has been spoiled with Gecko, just playing like a red green law and realizing how like valuable just 6k bodies are sometimes. And like I guess you also get that effect when you're playing Doffy, right? It's just kind of crazy. Once again, I'm just protecting this kid. Like, if I don't have to lose my block of law, I'm not going to lose my block of law. They play Jozu. They attempt to bounce my Cavendish now. And this is where I'm cheering, going, whoo, my Tashigi actually did a thing. Which is great. I love that Tashigi did a thing. I think it's a great card. But anyway, we rest Tashigi. And then they just scoop it up. They had a couple buggies in the hand, just no chance to play them. Anyway, guys, that is the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I enjoyed playing Red Green Law for the first time in a while, and I'm enjoying making videos again. So hopefully you will see a lot more of me soon. I'm going to try to get you a Green Yellow Law video. I honestly don't know what else. If you guys want a deck, let me know down below. I'm going to try to get you fun decks. There's a decent amount of competitive content out there. If you want to watch like a top player play a deck, there's a lot of Japanese OP10. You see your Doffies, you see your Blackbeards, you see your Onels. Although I may come up with some stupid Onelis at some point. Maybe not. We'll see. But I'm going to try to bring you guys some fun decks. Maybe I jump over to OP11. Try Red Green Law and OP11 because I've always got to keep Red Green Law alive. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed, please make sure to like and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video.